Welcome to Technology FAQ. I'm Hirok, and today I'm going to show you how you can create this beautiful profile UI card with the help of HTML, CSS and JavaScript. So let's begin. First of all, create a new folder and name it whatever you want, and then create an images folder, and then let's download this image and these social icons. So for that, for the main profile image, you can use your own image, or I have used this image from unsplash.com. Avatar and save images, and then just save it as avatar.jpg, okay, and then just drag it to this folder. Then for the social icons, we'll go to flat icons, we'll go to flat icons, and then we'll search for Facebook. Then first of all, let's just log in to my account. We have to log in because or else they won't let us edit the icon. So click on this menu button and then click edit, and then we'll select white and press the download button. You can use any you want, PNG or SVG. I'll use the SVG one, so SVG, okay. Then let's do same for Twitter and Instagram. For Twitter, let's use this one. Edit white, download SVG. And then for Instagram, edit okay. Now let's go to downloads and drag all of them: Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. We'll name it facebook.svg, instagram.svg, and twitter.svg. okay, now we are ready to create our project. So let's open this folder with Visual Studio Code. I'll be using Visual Studio Code as my code editor, but you can use any code editor you want. Okay, so first of all, let's create an HTML file, index.html in the root folder, then a CSS file in style.css, and another file script. You can name it anything you want, script.js. Now for index.html, card, I'll give the title as card UI. Then we'll be importing the CSS file with link tag HTML style dot CSS, and we'll be importing the JavaScript file with script tag. JS. We also have to import a font, that is the name of this font is Cairo. So let's go to Google Fonts, let's search for Cairo, press the plus button, then go to customize and then select light, bold, that's enough I guess. So let's embed it. We copy this code here and then we'll just paste it. Okay, so our font is imported. Now let's first create the card with the class name of card. Okay, so let's open it with the live server. Okay, so let's go to the CSS file and let's create some variables first. Gradient that we'll be using as the background color, this gradient. So the linear gradient 90°, comma hash df54a7 0%, comma hash 7571 AC at 100%. Then let's create another variable long. This will be using for transition duration 0.7 seconds. Then in the variable short 0.2 seconds. Okay, now let's do some initial reset. Margin to be 0, padding of all the elements 0, box sizing to be border box, and font family to be Cairo, and as a fallback we'll use sans serif. Okay, now let's give our HTML and body tag a width of 100% and height of 100%. This will help us in centering the card. Okay, we have to apply some more styles to the body, which is display will be great. Then I have to justify the content to center and align content to center, and background PG color. Background color will be the variable we just declared, that is gradient. Oh, sorry, it will be background, only background. Okay. Okay, so this is the gradient. Now let's create the card. We use dot to select the class name. So let's give it a width of 300 pixels and height of 470 pixels. 70 pixels, and background color to be white. Sorry. Okay, so as you can see, this is the card. Now let's give it a border radius of 8 pixels. Sorry, 25 pixels. 25 pixels. Now let's create the content of our card. So we'll go to index.html. We'll have two portions. That is, one is the image portion and one is the bottom portion. So we'll have one will be dot image box, and other one will be at bottom. Bottom. Okay. Now let's add display grid template rows to be auto and 100 pixels. So if we go to our dev tools and see, you see the image portion is auto and this one is 100 pixels, the bottom. Okay, now let's put some shadow. Box shadow 0 x 0 y 20 pixels, 30 pixels of blur, and the color will be black with a little bit of transparency. Okay, so you can see the shadow here. Now we have to now let's design our image box. So image box will be with a width of 300 pixels and border radius, we don't need border radius actually. Position of relative. Okay, and now let's put our image. Inside this will be img slash avatar.jpg, and let's give it a class name of profile image. Class name of profile image. Okay, now let's go to our style.css and let's style it. Profile image position will be absolute, then height will be 100%, then left will be 50%, and to center it we'll have to use transform translate x minus 50%. Okay, but as you can see, the image is overlapping the card, so we have to go to our card and give an overflow of hidden. Okay, now let's go to our bottom section and let's create this name and this designation. So we'll write dot name plus dot designation, and name will be, you can put your name here, John. I will put John Doe, and for designation will be web developer. Okay, now let's design this too. So dot name will be font weight will be bold, then font size will 26 pixels, and font line height will be 26 pixels, and we'll give it a z index fun, and let's do it the same for designation. Dot designation, and give it a margin top of 4 pixels, position, no, not 4 pixels, actually 5 pixels, then font size will be 18 pixels, line height will be 14 pixels, and z index will be same, z index will be 1. Okay, but to center it we have to style our bottom. Okay, so for the bottom will be display of grid, then justify content will be center, align content will be center, and now text align will be center. Okay, now everything is centered. We'll give it a width of 300 pixels and position of relative, because we have to create this button here. This button will be positioned absolute, and color means, this means color means text color will be 363636. Okay, a little bit grayish dark gray. Okay, now let's create this button. So we'll go to our index.html and create our button. Dot with the class of btn, and inside that we'll create another div with class of btn text, and inside that we'll create two span elements. Inside one we'll write more, and in the other one we'll write close. This is the text of the button. Okay, now we'll go to our style.css and we'll design it. .btn, we'll give it a padding top of 4 pixels, position will be absolute, width will be 105 pixels, height will be 38 pixels, background will be the gradient color, okay. Now middle left of 50% and to center it we'll use translate, we'll use translate x-axis minus 50% and y-axis minus 50%, because with only x-axis will center it, but we have to move it upwards also, so we'll use minus 50%. Okay, let's give it a border radius of 25 pixels. Okay, then color, text color of white, but this button will be clicked, and as we can see, when we hover over it the pointer changes, so we'll use cursor to be default, or cursor to be pointer, actually pointer. Now it will change to pointer. Next, user select, and to disable this selection we'll use user select none. Okay, now you will not be able to select any text. Then overflow will be hidden. Okay, then we'll give a z-index of 2, it will be at the very top, and transition var long. Okay, so it doesn't do anything right now. Okay, now let's open the text inside the button. So we go to btn text and give it a height of 100%, display of grid, and the grid template rows will be 1 fractional unit for each. Okay, as you can see, now we can see only one, and with the help of JavaScript we will move the text up and down. Give it a transition of var long. Okay, so the front part is all done. Now we have to add this social overlay, so let's work on it. Let's go to our index.html and below the bottom we'll add dot social element, and then inside it we'll put a paragraph element and that follow me, then then a div with social links, and inside social links we'll have our Facebook. So we'll give an anchor tag, so it will be https://facebook.com/ your username, and between the anchor tags we'll put an image with the src of img/facebook facebook.svg, and the alt will write Facebook. Okay, it's not visible yet. To make it visible, let's say when social has a class of active, the social overlay will be visible. So let's go to our CSS and write dot social padding 20 pixels, position absolute. Before putting position absolute on social, we have to put position relative on our card. Position relative. Then look on this one. Okay, follow me. Background color will be transparent. For now, let's make it black, transparent black. Okay, and let's make it darker. Okay, now top, let's put top at 0, left at 0, height to be 100%. Okay, then width will also be 100%. Text color will be white. And display will be, let's first change the size of our icons. Social links, the margin top of 20 pixels, width of 100 pixels, 100%, sorry. Then padding of 10 pixels up and down, top and bottom, and 30 pixels on right and left. Okay, then display will be flex. I'm using flexbox here. Display will be flex and justify content center to center all the elements horizontally. Okay, now let's work on the social links. Social links, and inside that social links, all the anchor tags. Put a transition we can put it later on. First of all, we have to put social links image and give it a width of 45 pixels. Okay, now it's looking good. Okay, now let's go to our social and continue. So let's also display flags blocks, then justify content center. Flex direction, we have to put flex direction, it's going horizontally, so we have to put flex direction to the column. Okay, align items of center. Border, I put a z index, not border actually, z index of 0, so it will be at the bottom. So to show this button, we have to put 0 means the button is at a z index of 2 and this overlay z index of 0. Let's put a transition. Let's put the transition later on. Okay, so now let's work our index.html. Let's copy this. Let's copy this one and duplicate it. Sorry, copy, paste, and this will write Twitter. Twitter and again we'll paste here, we'll write Instagram, so the Instagram. Okay, now let's fix our social icons. So we'll go to social links and we'll give the justify content of space between. Okay, now you can see the spaces. Now let's work on this follow me here. So let's go to social, then social, and inside that the p element, and we'll write, we'll give it a height of, let's give it a border first, border 1 pixel, solid white. Okay, now we'll give it a height of content fit content. We'll give it a padding of 0 top and bottom and 10 pixels sidewise. Okay, now let's give it a border radius of 20 pixels. 20 pixels. Okay. Next is our email. So let's work on it. Index.html, then after social link, right, we'll put an anchor tag here and we'll get HRA of mail to and your email at the rate, let's say gmail.com. Okay, and let's give it a class name of email. Okay, Now we'll go to dot email and go to width of 100 pixels, then height of 40. We have to write between the anchor tags, write email. Okay, then it will be visible. Now we'll go to text decoration, means to remove the underline, to put text decoration to none. Okay, then we'll give it a border 1 pixel, solid, color is white, border radius of 8 pixels, and text color of white. Then we have to center the content, so we'll give it a display of flex, justify content center, align item center. Okay, it's centered. Okay, now it's time to move our text from this position to here at the top. So let's say that when our card has a class of active, when our card active, then the name and card active dot designation will move, transform, translate y minus 310 pixels. Color will be white. Oh, we have put the active wrong place. It should be in the card. Active. Okay, 310 pixels. Let's go to social. Follow me. Put a margin top. Okay, now it looks right. Okay, and this button should move downwards, so we'll move it downwards. So we'll say when the card is active, when the card has a class of active, the button will move. The button will move. So for the x-axis it will be minus 50%, but for the y-axis it will be 30px. Okay, so button is here now, and this email. So when, let's say, when the card, when class of active, then email will have a width of 200 pixels and background color will be transparent white. Okay, Next up we have to put these animations. So we'll go to our social links, dot social links, and all the anchor tags. Okay, we'll put a transition of short, means 0.2 seconds. A power translate y minus 5 pixels. Minus 5 pixels. Now you see it's moving. So we'll go to the email class and put the transition of var short Now you can see the email is also having a smooth animation. We'll fix this button later on. Now let's first fix the image, the background image. As you can see, when you press this button, the background image takes the full height of the card. So we'll say when the card has a class of active, when the card has a class of active, then profile image will take height of 470 pixels. We take height of 470 pixels. Okay, now you can see the image is full screen. Okay, now let's fix the button here. So we'll say when the card, let's just copy it. When the card is active, the btn text will translate y minus 30 pixels. Now you can see it has become close. Okay, now if we go to the index.html and remove this active class. Okay, wait. We go here and make the social, and here top will be minus 100%. When the class is not active, and it will be transparent. Okay, so when the class is not active, when the card is not active, it will be like this. And when we put the active class, okay, so now we have to fix card. So we'll say when the card is active, social will be top, will go to 0, and the page color will become black with little bit of transparency. Okay, so as you can see, now if we remove the active class, we see the initial card, and if we put the active class. We see the social. Now we have to put the transition effects. So for that we'll go to our profile image. Okay, before putting transition, let's add JavaScript to this button. So we'll go to script.js and we'll write let's first select the button. btn is equal to document dot query selector dot btn. Let's duplicate it. We'll select the card also. Card. Now we'll add an event listener to the btn dot add event listener for a click event, and then we'll run this callback function. So card dot class list dot toggle the class name active. Okay, so let's first remove it. Now if we click on the more button, script, the problem that it's not loading is because, and it's throwing an error here. It was throwing an error actually. So we have to put index.html. So we have to put an attribute defer to load the JavaScript at the end of the document. So now we can click on this button and you can see that it's working, but we have to work on the animation right now. We have to fix the animation. Okay, so let's do it. So we'll go to social and give a transition of long. Now if you click, yes, it's working. Now we have to give an animation. The background means the profile image. So we'll go to our profile image and put a transition, same bar dash long. Now okay, and now we have to work on this text. So we'll put on designation same. Let's copy it. Transition var long, copy. We have name and designation. Now you see it's working. Okay, so that's it guys. I hope you like it. This is the first time I'm doing a tutorial on HTML, CSS and JavaScript. So if you like it, you let me know in the comments. And if you are new to this channel, then don't forget to hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon. See you later.